Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I am okay. I had a real busy day yesterday, and that feral cat that I brought in to heal her broken bones got out, and I had to go get her. She just wanted me to pick her up, actually, and I was in the middle of housework and putting some stuff out on the porch to be thrown away, and she slipped out the door. I mean, I had it open. She just sort of walked out and then played kitty games. So I left her for a bit, then went, I didn't have my shoes on. So I slipped some on and went out and got her. Earlier that morning, I hadn't seen her one daughter out there I call Heart Baby for 2 days. And I called her, and she came, and she had an eye that was clouded over white, and it was all bloody with fur missing. I'm not sure what happened to her, but I swear yesterday she was blind and in danger of losing her life. And today, her I said big prayers, because if you're injured out there, you're as good as dead anyway. By our creek bottom here, everything comes up. I mean, big cats, all kinds of wild canines, and even, like it could be like what do you call it? Weasel. Something as small as that can kill a cat. So, I was really concerned. But, like I said big prayers today. There was no color in her eye yesterday. It was totally white. And it didn't look necessarily infected. It looked like the site had been gone probably for the couple days she was gone. Even when she came to me, she was scared as could be. So, poor little thing today. Her eyes there, and I could see the iris today. She has gold eyes and goldish green, but mostly gold. And poor little baby. But she's doing better today. I swear, prayer's the um, healer in the world, So I know it is. But the thing with my video today, what I've had on my mind a lot, is I really don't take too kindly from a very small demographic on this planet, like about um, 1/10 of a million% of people that would think, not only do they think they're more intelligent than me, they think they're better leaders than an average person does have a right to lead our youngins, or people, our peers, our contemporaries in this world. Oh yeah, we have every right. I don't need any kind of document or certificate, although some of us do have them, but we don't need a piece of paper to tell us how to lead our fellow human beings, or even ourselves for that matter. And I'm getting really entirely sick of it my whole life. Basically, they're calling me a liar, and I don't fucking like it. You know? Maybe excuse me, please excuse me on this good day the Lord made, but it's, maybe I should erase it or edit, but I don't, and that's just me. And that's how I feel about it, because a lot of us have worked really hard, or are younger in the process of learning and working really really hard to be good human beings to the other people on this planet. And the very small percentage that don't want to fall in line with that, you could say, well, God is good all the time and he doesn't believe in any kind of force, which is true. But we are not God, are we? And we are human beings that they're fucking with the next generation. And I'm not going to sit here and take it anymore. I'm telling you, if I see you out in public, I'm getting up in your face and you're going to get a piece of this. You're going to hear what this brain in here and what my heart speaks with God in my heart at you, not to you. The people that are pretense leaders on this planet have got to go. They need to be incarcerated. A criminal's a criminal. When I do shit wrong, I face it. So do you. So does everybody else. It's time this ends. And yes, we can localize government. We don't need these trollish, vampiric parasites. They're not smart. They're not kind. They got left money, blood money through the ages from duping people, from treating people like less than that shit. You're not good enough to even wipe your feet on my doormat. Out here telling people that you have some superior mind that can grasp physics and biology and medical issues and psychology, and you're so mechanically inclined and you're such an engineer and all the rest of your twerp ass legal what? You're an attorney and you're in a government office? Illegal. Read the statutes. You're already against the law. It's people like me, our peers that belong in those seats in a Congress. Business people, not attorneys, not corporations, not religious leaders. Like what because the what do you want to call yourselves? The crypto Jews hiding in our government, in there signing documents with a person that say they represent us, and Trump was the last one to do that. They do it like every so often, like a show of force, like the United States is a commodity of some Israelite. Excuse the fuck out of me. I'm a USA citizen. Get the hell out of my White House. And there is a separation of church and state. So keep it out of there. All of it. Yep, all of it. If you want to take In God We Trust off the money, do that too. Because I trust God without money. So do you think I really care? Do you think I can't walk out? I can walk out of my house right now in any direction and I'll be good to go no matter where I go. And these dimwits, oh shit. I can't believe it. I really cannot believe it. There's people out there that can do many things. I mean, with their minds and with their abilities and stuff in this world, and we're all special. And we have these people who Doug coined the term zoots. If you don't know who Doug is, he's my estranged husband that is a part of the Dark Cabal. And if you don't know that he's the head one, I'm cool with that. But they're all over the place. There's many antichrists. So not to worry. There's no shortage of these things. But the Nephilim. So rather, I like the word caste. because when you're cast, you're set into something. And like cast iron, that's not a solid metal. You don't really, it's not the great steel is better, or like carbon steel, some hardened alloy or something like that's much better. We're in the new days. We can, it's time to write a new scripture. you know so we're going with the alloy steel. So, or maybe like Excalibur will make it out of meteorites. It's a meteor when it's coming in. And if you remember what the S plural means, pieces, like when it hits the ground. So it's a meteorite when it comes in. A lot of times they'll be charred from going through the atmosphere if you find pieces that aren't. Or they'll be rusting because they have iron in it, and it will start rusting with the moisture. So I did some studying on that too. That's why I'm saying, people like are pretty well versed, and like even like their vocabulary will blow you off this planet. And we've got these imbeciles standing up in front of the whole world going, dur, 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 I think I'm awake, you know? Good Lord. Or, look at me. Aren't I a crypto Jew princess? I'm so special. Give me your money and scrub my toilet, honey. Go fuck yourself, you old bitches. We aren't working for you anymore. You were the servants and you're fired. I'm sick of them. I really am entirely. Creepy people. The only reason I would even propose to broach a subject like all the transhumanism and all the um, what's called hydrogenous human beings, um, like one gender, one race, one religion, one mindset, one master sitting in your temple, and it's not the master that a person with a good heart wants sitting in their temple. So, yeah, I'm not going along with their program, and I refuse to teach the young people anything more than what is the facts. You know, people will not even talk openly. More doctors, why aren't you saying this? You got a cold sore. The entire population of the world has the herpes virus. They're talking about eating like it's dinner from somebody's anus, and all their chewy gooey habits that were forbidden. And there are writings on how to take care of your body that the crypto Jews are keeping, like how a maiden should wash and a man, and how to raise your family. Different guidelines, different sets of things that they keep from the people, that really, not only from a religious aspect but from a health. And that's why they call you goyim, because most of you aren't listening to what your heart's telling you, because we can't get our hands on this written material. Although I do think that it's coming out little bit by little bit. There's people that are in these groups of families that have bits and pieces of information. They're like, I ain't doing that to my friend. Here, let me show you this. I love you. Hey, wait a minute. I got something to tell you, People trusting our friends instead of the ones that say that we can trust them. They haven't proven it. We do. We prove it to each other. It's like, oh, you're feeling low today? Here, let me make a video. And you have that person or people, those people in mind when you're talking to them. It's like, maybe they'll pick up on this word or this meaning, and we're all out here thinking, how can we say this? What can we say next to make our point and get the information out to the people, keep their interest in learning so they can keep teaching the next generations the truth of what's going on so they are not set in an economy of yo-yos like this, up and down. When we get our riches built up and then they slam us back down. And I've seen it. They'll have their wars. They'll do this. They'll do that. And it's always with the everything runs from the petro aspect on this world. You know, no matter what they say. And it's a renewable resource that's been proven. You know, look it up. Look in government files. Look up. You choose your words. You'll find them. You know, is or is not oil a fossil fuel? Absolutely not. It's from decaying vegetation of any matter. Any biomaterial can be made into fuel. Including sand. If you get it hot enough, you can burn it. That was, there's a guy named Jocko out in the south, I think it was Sierra Nevada, or not, not, no, it was well, it was Southern California, but not as far as Baja. So I think it was in Death Valley somewhere, perhaps. But his name was Jocko. A lot of people discredit him because in like about 1976, because said he saw aliens, but he had built his own turbine with a perpetual motion electricity, and he was burning sand for fuel and extracting water out of different elements and different things, just doing some crazy experiments. And he was discredited for being a nutcase. Well, I'm not going to be discredited out with these bastards. If I see them in public, I swear, they aren't going to like it. They can't run as fast as I can. I'm sure of that. I'll be right by them. I have a local one I tried to talk to, Jason Rarick. Yeah, your wife screwed me over on a horse, too. You people suck. Or, oh, yes, your ex-wife, because you're an old whore. You know? Come to our property, ask us to vote for you, and then when we need you, when I want to talk to you about children that are wards of the state, what do? Ignore my phone call. Well, you'll see this someday, and I'll see you someday, too. Something tells me he's not going to like it the day he sees me. So I got some plans for the future that these people aren't going to like. Well, I don't like them, and they don't like me anyway, so we might as well make it very well known. You know, why hide? They treat me like a criminal, but they're the criminals. Oh, there was a local, I think it was yesterday, person that had said I might have been the day before about the reserve police here not being rent-a-cops. And I said, none of you have enough psychology training Anytime I've needed you, you failed me. So, and that's the truth. So, um, they don't. Anybody that works in the public should have psychology training, maybe ministerial counseling, some type. I mean, they do. They take a little bit, but nurses take more. So, bet you anything, there's a lot of nurses that can not only find a vein on your arm to give you that old jabberoo, but they're probably carrying a side iron too, so they can do it all. And that brings to mind why people might want to have weapons. I was in danger. I called the police. I told them my teenager, 15, was drunk with his dad, and the dad was trying to beat up on my older son for defending me. Yeah. And anybody could have got hurt. It's not a joke. And I called them. What do? Want to arrest my son and let the son of a bitch walk. And my teenage kid that had been drinking got set the worst example for the rest of his life right that day. The same with both of them, actually. The unjust and me calling for help because I was afraid and I had a reason to be. So, yeah, it's not a joke. Should I call Doug? He was working 20 minutes away and he was here quicker than the cops. Almost. He was on his way anyway. So, or could have been. No, I think I told him not to hurry because the cops were on their way. But yeah, it was pretty frightening. I don't know how long I was outside in the rain, and I had shorts on and a t-shirt, and it's in the brambles, and it was raining, and I was afraid. And what does this thing do? Tried to charge my oldest son because actually my son did not put his hands on his dad first. The dad put his hands on me. The son told him to take his glasses, shades off when he says, take those glasses off when I'm talking to you. And my ex, Zach, just stood there. And Luke took him off his face and Zach slapped him. And that was it. Then Luke tried to totally annihilate him. And Zach got in his vehicle and went to back out and backed into one of our classic cars, busted up a tail light. Luke reached in the window and pounded him in his face, and it just started bleeding. And the thing went over to the gravel pit and called the cops. By the time, and I had already called the cops. By this time, when he had backed into the car, I seen that. That's when I ran up onto the side of the hill and called the cops. And my oldest son ran into the woods barefoot. And my youngest son was still in the house. By that time, I had told him, you just go in there and you stay there, And because I was afraid that thing was going to come back because, even after he talked to the cops. And she talked to me and I told her what happened, and there was no justice for my younger son being drinking. Nothing. And all she had to do was give the kid a breathalyzer and the dad. My oldest son, Luke, and we were sober. I didn't even smoke anything back then. I still had some kids around, A couple years after that, I started again for a while, and then quit again for a while. When I was really sick, I wasn't smoking anything. It was all I could do to even feed myself. So, What a crazy day. That wasn't, of course, the only weird time like that, but usually, well, it was brought on by um, probably pent up aggression on my oldest son's part too, from being annihilated by his dad. And they don't, of course, talk about it. So I was supposed to be contacted by my kids when they were in Wisconsin with their dad, and the dad had kicked my oldest son out of the house and didn't let me know. And my son was out on the streets and he got in trouble. That really pissed me off. But I did eventually, they both ended up coming back just like a couple years later. So, I don't know. Crazy times. But the point is, when I needed cops, I mean, there's so many times I was walking away from an argument one time, sitting out on a swing set, just wanting things to be peaceful and left alone. And a cop came out there to talk to me because of somebody else's yelling. I literally was not saying a word. The yelling started. I walked outside, and this big piece of shit came towards me with his hand on his gun and all that type. I'm sitting on the swing out in the dark, just trying to be left alone. I worked at the school. I was trying to just be a good mom and all the retarded shit I've been around, and I'm sure a lot of you have been around. But the coolest thing about it is it was really, really icy. And I found out that them cop shoes that they wear, and it was on a little bit of a hill. He was like doing some ice skating, some fancy footwork as he was walking towards me, and I was sort of smiling like, yeah, you aren't in shape. You would not be able to catch me anyway. But, you know, some people are runners. I've gotten away from the cops. I just like, I jump buildings. I've jumped fences. Like you just, one fell swoop on the other side. And if they can't do that, you're ahead of them. Different things like that. So, or go up in one building and out another one on the other side. And the skylights. And I was trying to get away from a would be, I think, um, child trafficker or something. It was pretty freaky in the city, downtown. Got chased a few times. Shit happens. When you're a kid alone, things will happen, no doubt. You better be really in tune with your surroundings, especially nowadays. Oh, did you hear about the thing? And then I'm going to let you go get this uploaded. But did you hear about if you see a zip tie on the back of somebody's door handle of their car, that indicates to child traffickers that this is a person that has been alone, and they um stalked them out and found out that the person is alone and they're available to be kidnapped. So I thought I'd share. I'm glad I remembered that. So, well, I appreciate you all for joining me. And I had another sub, then I lost one. So if somebody is new here, thank you for joining me. If you want to leave in the comments new here, I'll sure say hi. And if you don't, hello anyway. And I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you so much. I really am blessed. Having a pretty good day. Tired as heck. I was up really, really late and got up at a pretty decent time. A little after 9. So, yeah. for staying up as late as I did. So, yeah. And got some work done around here today. And I am going to exercise today, though. But it's not that I really didn't do any exercises, just that with the resistance training that I've been doing and then moving big furniture yesterday, I got in my resistance, my weight, you know, resistant training, I guess I call it. I didn't actually lift anything, but, well, I mean, stuff, yeah. But, okay, I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.